Hey everyone, welcome back to 22 Panels. This is the podcast that aims to examine, explore, and elevate the medium of comics. This raspy voice is Tyler, and across the interwebs from me is Tad. Hey Tad,
With a
say hi. Raspy.
slightly less raspy voice,
Yeah,
slightly less raspy voice,
yeah,
something like that. It's fitting that when we decide that we're going to talk about Snotgirl, that we both have way too much snot in our systems. Um, we did it to ourselves.
I know. I'm,
We did it to ourselves. That's all I can say.
well, we expose ourselves to
So,
children every day.
eh, eh. Well, I just meant like we tempted fate by deciding to do Snot Girl this week
Oh,
in the heart of cold and flu season.
oh, yeah, that makes more sense.
You gonna cover Snot Girl? Let's kick your allergies into gear.
My face was so, had so much pressure behind it, my eyes were watering earlier.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Anywho, what's going on?
Thankfully, I just got on new allergy meds, so it's not as bad as it could be. But yeah, I knew that the temperature had risen before I even saw that the temperature had risen. Just like I know when the temperature drops before I even see that it drops because my head goes, "Ugh."
Oh, really?
Wasn't that a nice noise for everybody?
Yeah. Um,
Yeah, yeah. We got to get the Ferris Bueller MIDI cartridge.
yeah. That'd
The beginning.
be funny.
Anyway, we, we do have some cool comic news this week.
Yeah, I like this first
Um,
one.
First, Jeff Lemire announced that he's publishing a memoir through Dark Horse, 1,000 or 10,000 ink stains, a memoir, um, essays, and the document the creation of his books from his earliest self-published, never before published mini comics to Essex County, Sweet Tooth, Black Hammer, Minor Arcana, everything in between. In addition to the essays of each project and my personal life at the time, book also features never seen developmental artwork, rare and unpublished comics, and in-depth process material.
That's cool.
So 10,000 ink stains. 25 years of making comics is coming to print for the first time through Dark Horse Books on July 15th, 2025.
I would definitely be
So,
buying that.
yes, yes. And actually, it's going to be 208 pages, 9 by 12 hardcover, and will retail for $49.99. So, it's packed with stuff if they're putting that price tag on it.
Right. Yep.
9 by 12 is pretty big too.
Yeah. It's like a coffee table book.
Right. Right. Next nice piece of news. If you happen to be in the Toronto area next Saturday
Uh-huh.
from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. At the Raid offices and where what is it? I'm trying to get the details of Raid is the comics Raid Gallery and Cafe, 1720 Queen Street. Raid is the comics studio that Ramon Perez is part of. Chip Zdarsky was one of the original founders, and he was the one that came up with doing this. Comics creators get given lots of copies of their stuff, sometimes more than they know what to do with.
Right.
So they're having a free con where they will be selling at low price their comp copies and creator signings and maybe some sketches and whatnot with Vita Ayala, Mike Del Mundo, Ray Fox, Jason Liu, Ryan North, Ramon Perez, Marcus Toe, Chip Zdarsky, and Jim Zub, all at the Raid Gallery and Cafe. Comic signing and sketching, free admission from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Sunday, which just sounds cool and makes me wish that I had a passport so I could drive up to Toronto next weekend. But I don't think I can get one in a week.
No, it would take too
You
long.
need one to get to Canada. You need one to get to Canada now.
Do you?
So one of these days, I need to fix my lack of passport.
Same. I don't own one.
In other news, and I'm not going to go through like all of the details, but when I was looking for news, I noticed that in the last week, Bleeding Cool has reported 10 different, and they look like all YA graphic novels getting 100,000 print runs or larger.
Oh, wow.
Which is another sign that the whole demise of comics may be overstated. Because Lemonade War from Jacqueline Davies and Karen De La Vega, Pizza and Taco, The Best Christmas Ever from Stephen Shoskin, Earl Stein's Goosebumps, Haunted Mask from Maddie Gonzalez, Magic Treehouse, Sunset of the Sabretooth by Mary Pope Osborne, Jenny Laird, Kelly Matthews, and Nicole Matthews, Warriors, The Prophecies Begin, Volume 2 from Aaron Hunter, Natalie Rice, and Sarah Goder, Babysitter's Club, Mallory, and The Trouble with Twins from Anna Martin, adapted by Arlie Nopra, Spy Ski School by Stuart Gibbs and Anjan Sakar, Kirby's Lessons for Falling in Love by Laura Gao, Besties, Prank War by Kayla Miller, Jeffrey Canino, and Sarah K. Turner, and I Survived the Great Molasses Flood graphic novel 1919 by Karen De La Vega. All got print runs of more than 100,000 copies.
Wow.
A couple of them were up in the 250,000 range. When I was telling my wife this, she's like, is that good? And my answer is, the best-selling floppy comics get print runs of about 50,000.
True.
It was a really big deal that Absolute Batman, I think, had 100,000 print run. That sort of thing. So, the fact that we have 10 graphic novels going to print in the coming months that are slated for 100,000 plus print runs is really a good sign
That's
for the
awesome.
industry.
Yeah, for sure.
And the fact that there are young people who read comics, they're just, not necessarily reading superheroes or going to comic shops. Which more than anything is probably a sign to comic shops that they need to consider what they carry a little bit more carefully.
I agree.
If they want to maintain their customer base.
Yep.
Because there's definitely a market there. So
Cool.
let's talk some new to order.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. From the world of minor threats, welcome Twilight, number 1 from Patton.
Welcome to Twilight.
Oh, well, up at the top in the blue.
I know, because that's because previews likes to
Okay.
condense things.
Welcome to Twilight by Patton Oswalt and Matt Fraction, Jordan Bloom, and art by Michael Allred and cover art by Scott Hampton. Twilight City may be home to the
By Scott Hampton.
Yep. Twilight City may be home to the minor threats, but they're not the only down on their luck supervillains and heroes struggling to find their way. Comic book superstars Matt Fraction and Mike Allred reunite to tell a twisted noir tale about fame, dames, and homunculus-faced mobsters in minor threats. Welcome to Twilight. Benjamin Bronkowitz is a washed-up bird-winged actor who is not a superhero, but he once played one on TV. Now Brock spends his time on the superhero convention circuit trying to cash in on his fleeting fame, drinking away his problems as he fades into obscurity. But a chance encounter with a mysterious woman empowers Brock to fight for a life he once thought was over. Can Brock learn to fly again, or will his vices and the ruthless gangsters on his tail clip his wings for good? This will be in shops March 12th.
I love the cover where the guy with the wings is riding a Segway.
Yeah, and he's got the light on his helmet.
With a headlamp.
Yep, and he's got huge angel wings.
Right.
That's great.
Godzilla heist from Van Jensen and Kelsey Ramsey. What if you could predict when and where Godzilla would appear? What if you knew the perfect opportunity to pull off the heist of the century? Hai is a young man who knows two things. A heist needs a good distraction, and there's no distraction like Godzilla. So when Hai discovers Godzilla responds to specific energy signals he can send into the atmosphere, he creates the perfect opportunity to stage high-profile heists in the middle of Godzilla attacks. But these heists put Hai on the radar of some very dangerous men. Men who want Hai to work for them to pull off the most dangerous job the world has ever seen. From IDW in stores February 19th. And because IDW is all over the Godzilla right now, we also have Godzilla versus America. #1, Godzilla versus Chicago.
Nice.
Godzilla is coming to America, and its first stop, Chicago, which is kind of funny because if Godzilla is coming to America, you'd think that like his first stop would be LA or Portland, something on the West Coast, that he come across the ocean. I'm really curious as to how his first stop winds up being in the middle of America. And I really hope that they don't leave that unexplored.
That's really funny. Yeah, that's probably, yeah.
I mean, it makes more sense to have Chicago be the second or third stop.
Sure.
But I'm happy that his first stop, because it's my town.
Yep.
Godzilla is coming to America, and his first stop, Chicago. Join a star-studded crew of Chicago comics creators through 4 epic stories across the Windy City. The L train experiences its worst delays yet. Godzilla interrupts a major sporting event, and a new Chicago-based superhero reaches the end of her rope. The issue features a superstar lineup of creators, including Tim Seeley, Mike Costa, and Ryan Brown, Carolyn Cash, and Ezra Clayton Daniels. Join us at the start of a new anthology series that follows Godzilla across the United States.
That's awesome.
In shops, February 26th, 2025.
It looks cool. Godzilla's
I also
behind
love that
the
we go
L.
from we got Tim Seeley and Ryan Brown and Mike Costa, like your mainstream guys, and then Carolyn Cash and Ezra Clayton Daniels were much more indie comic scene.
Yeah.
So like they got a real nice mix of talent there.
All right. Mine is a long, lonesome grave from Justin Jordan and Chris Sheehan. Eisner and Harvey Award-nominated writer Justin Jordan and #1 best-selling artist Chris Sheehan throw a brass-knuckled gut punch of revenge horror torn from the forgotten corners of Appalachia, where the magic and murder go hand in hand. Harley Creed is a bad man. He used to be worse. A violent ex-con with a string of brutal crimes in his past. He only wants one thing when he finally walks free from prison: to leave Briar Falls, West Virginia, behind and disappear forever. But Harley's hometown has a strange new way of swallowing people whole. Call it a consequence of low-level folk magic that has permeated its darker corners for generations. And now that Harley has returned, pent-up vengeance for his past crimes is about to come roaring back. Somebody has put a hex on him, and Harley has 7 days before he dies in twisted, screaming agony. To reverse it, Harley must find and kill his unseen enemy before their curse can reap its terrible end. But in Briar Falls, there's no shortage of suspects, and Harley is coming for them all. If can't have pace, at least he can have revenge.
I think it's if he can't have peace.
If he can't have peace, at least he can have revenge. In shops February 12th. Excuse me.
Press. And some graphic novels from Fantagraphics Underground, Kafka's Manuscript by Jason Novak, with a stylistic nod to the wordless novels of Franz Mazurel and the expressionist drawings of Franz Kafka himself. Jason Novak's short graphic novel, Kafka's Manuscript, begins at the author's deathbed, where he entrusts his friend Max Brod with the task of destroying his unpublished papers. Brode refuses, and what follows is the story of how Kafka's literary legacy escaped Europe under the shadow of fascism. It is a survey of Kafka's paranoid landscape in kinetoscopic monochrome. As a master of deadpan satire, Kafka was as eloquent with both words as he was with what was left unsaid. Kafka's cartoonist, Jason Novak, seizes upon the unsaid to comment on Kafka's afterlife, exploring in a new way what countless books about Kafka have previously attempted to explore with words. Every epoch has its conundrums, but the qualities that unite our age with Kafka's are a reminder that some characteristics of a culture are perennial. What better way to capture Kafka's enduring but evasive voice than with a pantomime? This book is wordless with pages only on the recto. For the press preview, I removed the blank verso pages.
That's a cool cover.
Yeah.
I really like
In
the
shops
blanket.
February 19th.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right. Let's see if I can read this one any better. Silver Lake, trade paperback from John Zurplayton and Andrea Moody. This is Cano Barnett, a young, half-Native American from the Pacific Northwest who has volunteered to join the Army during the First Great War and finds himself on the front lines of Belgium in 1917. Here, he not only learns how to fight, but also discovers that an amulet made of silver from a sacred lake has imbued him with powers of his spirit animal, the black bear. As the war intensifies, No Man's Land becomes more than a blood-soaked battleground. It becomes Cano's hunting ground as he transforms into a hybrid predator unlike any the world has ever seen. This is going to be in shops February 12th.
Image Comics.
From Image, yep.
Some collections. First, we have Babs from Garth Ennis and Jason Burrows, a savage sword and sorcery parody from the co-creators of Preacher, The Boys, and Marvel's Get Fury. Meet Babs, a barbarian thief, and Barry, the world's worst enchanted sword. Together, they travel the fantastic landscape of wizards, dragons, demons, and castles, looking to steal treasure. Their plans are interrupted by the arrival of a band of very white knights who exploit and defied the townsfolk. Babs wasn't looking for a fight, but she's never found a bad situation she couldn't make 100 times worse. In shops April 16th from Ahoy Comics, and my God, has this been good.
Goes like this from Jordan Crane. For almost 3 decades, master cartoonist Jordan Crane has put together a body of short stories that garnered him multiple Eisner and Ignatz Award nominations via the pages of his comic book series Uptight and the influential comic anthology Yet they have never been collected until now. Featuring over a dozen short stories published over the last 25 years, Goes Like This is a gorgeously packaged anthology of Crane's work. The Hand of Gold is short but grim weird western, a morality play in which an accidental crime leads a criminal to a supernatural maximum security cell. Below the Shade of Night presents an anxiety that is rooted in the follies and ignorance of childhood, adolescence, and young adulthood. Vicissitude maps uncharted territory of graphic melancholia via a tale of infidelity. Trash Night depicts the troubled relationship of Dee and Leo, with mounting tension and mistrust that reaches a boiling point. In The Dark Nothing, a rare foray into science fiction, the 3-person crew of prospecting ship Sagasu 17 attempt to harvest an asteroid and things go horribly awry. The Middle of Nowhere begins with a man waiting in a small shack. All around him is black and desert. The wind rises, the rain comes, and it just might be the end of everything he's known. Also featuring additional prints and drawings from the author's archives, Goes Like This is a tantalizing sampler of one of the most brilliant cartoonists working today. This will be in shops March 25th. And Tad, I am going to go grab a tissue. I'll be right back.
On my birthday. No problem.
Good.
While you're grabbing a tissue, I'll read the next one. Fantagraphs Underground brings us Murderburg by Carol Leigh. Murderburg, sick, a sleepy island town off the coast of Maine, aims to maintain a quiet existence for their population of families, fishermen, craftspeople, and aging oddballs. But every so often, incursions from the scheming outsiders require ex-gangster mayor Leo Scazzo and his loving wife and children to enact counter schemes in order to keep the peace for the other townsfolk. Collecting the complete run of short stories, serialized as Murderville in the 2010s, under one cover, Carol Lay's vivacious cartooning keeps the light side of these dark comedies shining. In shops February 5th, 2025, from Fantagraphics Books. And if it sounds cool, go back and listen to our discussion with Carol Lay, because it may have come up. Some final order cutoff. Also coming out on my birthday, Batman Dark Age from Mark Russell and Mike Allred. Meet Bruce Wayne, Gotham's favorite delinquent son, shaped by a city in turmoil. Set against the backdrop of actual historical events, Gotham City comes alive, filled with the iconic characters who've loved and hated Batman over the years like you've never seen them before. Mark Russell and Mike Allred return to give audiences a look at Batman as a figure in American history, fighting for justice in a world gone mad. Collecting Batman Dark Age issues 1 through 6. The final installment of the Horizon Experiment, Finders Keepers, comic powerhouse Vita Ayala and superstar artist Skylar Patridge reunite for a new type of action-adventure tale following the Puerto Rican reverse Indiana Jones, a thief stealing from museums to return artifacts back to their native cultures. In stores January 15th. Lucky Devils #1 from Charles Soule and Ryan Brown. Good Omens meets Curse Words in this new series from the duo behind the smash hit 8 Billion Genies. The Lucky Devils is a tale of two rebellious demons who decide to start a revolution in hell, and the two ordinary 20-something humans they're going to manipulate to do it. A cheeky, satirical look at good and evil, The Lucky Devils explores Faustian bargains and temptation in a rip-roaring, hilarious new way. Money Shot, Big Bang #0 from Sarah Beatty, Tim Seeley, Patton Oswalt, Rebecca Isaacs, Carolyn Lee Lane, and Giselle Legassi. The sexiest zero issue ever. Take a trip through time from the origins of the intrepid triple explorers to a peek at the future with Money Shot, Big Bang #0. Patton Oswalt and Garth Graham join Tim Seeley for the funniest and naughtiest arc of Money Shot yet. And here's where you get all caught up before diving into the future. And the Patchwork Girl of Oz. L. Frank Baum's classic adapted by Otis Frampton. Patchwork Girl of Oz, perfect for fans of Young and Strom's Twig. Otis Frampton brings his unique style to the 7th book in the classic fantasy series. Join Ojo the Unlucky, Scraps the Patchwork Girl, and Bungles the Glass Cat on an amazing quest that takes them on a whirlwind journey from Munchkin Country to the Emerald City. In stores January 22nd. So yeah,
awesome.
That is our new to order stuff and final order cutoff. We've got some crowdfunding still going on.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Death to Pachuco from Henry Barajas and Rachel Merrill on Kickstarter through 12/12. So we got a couple days left, and it's still a couple $100 away. It looks really cool. Some Latino noirs. Go check that out. Eat Fighter, the collected edition. This is about the world of competitive eating. From Crystal Skillman, Fred Van Lente, Fernando Pinto at Rocket Ship. Kickstarter goes through 12/12. Also through 12/12, the return of Metal Hurlant from Humanoids. Through 12/13, for any budding comic creators, we have Comic Pro Boot Camp, also on Kickstarter. On Kickstarter through 12/13, as well as Sherlock Holmes and the Empire Builders, the Gene Genie from Joel Meadows and Andy Bennett. Through the 15th, we have I Doppelganger from Shelley Bond and a slew of artists, both known and unknown, from Off Register Press. check out our interview with her that should be up by the time you hear this. Through 12/21, we have Little Nemo in Slumberland from Windsor McKay Studio Comics Press. Through 12/28, we have the Bone Deluxe Edition Part 1, The Valley from Jeff Smith and Cartoon Books. My God, does this look amazing.
Looks great. Yeah.
And yeah. And finally, through 12/29, we have the rebooted Heavy Metal #1. So yeah, lots of stuff to throw your money at in this Christmas season. For stuff that won't show up before Christmas because it won't be printed until early next year. But
Funny.
still some awesome looking, amazing stuff.
Yeah.
And once you go look at it.
We're going to have to change the title of this next section from 3 amazing new books to 2 amazing new books. Because
No, I think it's still it's 3 amazing new books, but Tyler's a bum.
I only read 2 books this week. Plus,
Are you going to blame it on being sick, visiting your family, lots of work, or your comic shop not getting anything?
all of it. It was just the worst.
All of the above.
It was just the worst week ever. But anyway,
So what should I
what?
put on the graphic and the because it like the graphics all set up for there to be 3 spots? Should I just write into that third box, Tyler's a bum?
Yes, that would be funny.
Okay, that's what I'll do. I'll put into that box, Tyler's a bum and only read 2 books this week.
My first book was Snotgirl #16. This was awesome that this is back. I love this series.
It was so good.
Yeah.
And I would have been very upset with you if you hadn't read it because it's our great responsibility this week. And that would have been totally falling down on the
That would have been dropping. That would have been like totally dropping the ball. And then
Yeah.
Survival Street, The Radical Left #3. James Asmus and Jim Festante and Abele Kusinov. Is that correct?
Kusinov.
Kusinov.
You completely spelled his name wrong, but I fixed it for the website.
Did I spell it wrong? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm battling a cold. I don't know what's happening. And for my third pick, Tyler is a bum, and his comic shop didn't get their books on time.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. But this is where I have to remind you that you have a Global Comics subscription.
Yeah.
Okay, so you could have read Long Cold Winter #1 on Global Comics.
Yep.
You have Hoopla. Exorcism at 1600 Pen was on Hoopla. Dick Tracy #6 was on Hoopla.
I had options, you're saying.
Yeah, I think Kosher Mafia #4 was on Global Comics. You could have managed to read more comics, is what I'm saying, even without spending money on more digital comics.
I know.
Just from the subscription services that you already have.
I know.
You could have pulled off more, which is why I'm only blaming your comic shop a little bit.
Okay.
And on our social media, it will just be Tyler's a bum and only read 2 comics this week.
That's perfect. I deserve it. I deserve it. What did you read?
My favorite comic this week was Archaic #1 from Melissa F. Olson and Sally Cantorino. It looks like it's like a family mystery with monsters. Like the family are people, but they just showed up at an island that clearly has monsters. But they also have people chasing after them that are not nice people.
Right.
And we don't know where Dad is, but the people that are chasing after them want to know where Dad is. Mm-hmm. And it seems like they want to kill Dad. So I think Dad might have gotten on the wrong side of the mob. And Mom just got an inheritance of an island that has monsters.
Okay.
And that's where it left off.
That's
so
pretty good.
Spoilers on issue 1, but teasers for the rest of the
Yeah.
the rest of the series.
That sounds awesome.
I really enjoyed it. Snotgirl #16. I was so good to see Lottie Person back in action. We still know nothing more about Carolyn. We'll talk more about this in a few minutes. So I won't go too deep into it. What's the furthest place from here? Number 20 from Matthew Rosenberg and Tyler Boss at Image. This series just continues to delight me. There are a lot of other good books this week, and I decided to throw it into my three spot just because I don't think I've thrown it into my list in a while, and every issue is worthy of it. Um, at this point they're a long way from home and have a baby
Right.
and they're trying to navigate a post-apocalyptic world. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
still loving it. They
Good.
do
And they're on.
wonderful work.
I can't believe it's on issue 20 already.
So yeah, yep, it's on issue 20.
Cool.
And then it looks like we're still neck and neck in the One Piece race. I finished the volume,
Yeah. I got two.
and you're 2 chapters away from the end of the volume.
Yep. I got a little bit.
But neither of us got into the next volume.
No.
So have you gotten to the end of the middle fight yet?
No. The end of the middle fight.
Oh, so
Let me look.
so Zolo and because the first fight they lose Chopper, and the second fight it's Zolo and what's the other guy that wants to be a captain?
Oh God, I'm terrible with the names in One Piece.
I am too.
Oh man. But anyway, I did watch some One Piece anime this weekend, so that was kind of fun.
Usopp.
Usopp. Yep.
Yeah. Zoro, Usopp, and Sanji.
Yes.
Have you gotten through their fight?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So you're into the monkey versus or the Luffy versus the other captain.
Yes. Yep.
So it was very nice to see the middle fight won, and we get Chopper back.
Yeah.
And monkeys, or I'm only calling him Monkey because I happen to have just pulled up the characters and it says Monkey D. Luffy. Luffy is putting up a hell of a fight against the Foxy captain, but God, that like his power of being able to slow stuff down must suck.
Yeah. It would be so difficult to battle against that.
Well, particularly if you're Luffy and like your big thing is you can use your elastic powers to like hit 1,000 times in a row, except that if it slows down, it's like hit, come back, hit,
Yes.
come back.
It would be mind numbing for sure.
But he's putting on a good show, and I honestly forget if he won it by the end of the volume or if it just looks like he's in good position as we ended volume 33 to go into 34. Because I did my reading of One Piece at the beginning of the week.
Okay.
I meant to do some more today, but I was doing show note stuff instead,
Yeah.
trying to keep our blog up to date. I really hope to read 4 or 5 volumes over Christmas. I want to make like another big push forward.
Sure.
That's my goal. I don't know if it'll happen, but that's my goal.
To hit like 500. Maybe.
Something like that.
Yeah. We could do it.
To like on the since I've got all of those days off to like get up in the morning and read an entire volume, which is what, 6 or 8 chapters?
Yeah.
Something like that. However many chapters each volume is.
Okay.
It would be nice to do a volume a day during the time that I have off, or at least 5 volumes a week.
Yeah. Yep. Makes sense.
Because we're like a third of the way right now.
Yeah.
A little bit less. I think volume 108 is the one that was most recently released, and I just finished volume 33, and you're close to the end of volume 33.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So let's talk some Snotgirl.
Yeah.
I hadn't read this in a couple of years, and
Same.
I I remembered all of the slice of life stuff
Yeah.
and forgot kind of the mystery stuff and the supernatural stuff. And like
Yeah.
I love how layered it is.
I forgot that right off at the beginning, that girl looks like she's dead, right? Right.
Right.
I forgot about that whole mystery.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Well, and then they throw is it Charlotte, the old assistant off the balcony, and she
Yep.
winds him in a coma.
Yep.
And then there's a couple more incidents where Carolyn seemingly dies, and we find out her brother's just all over the place, and then we find out that there's a third sibling that's like a sniper type hitman dude, but mostly it's just about Lottie person and being a influencer type with allergies.
Yeah. It's
So I think the thing I compare it the most to is it's like a modern Strangers in Paradise.
yeah. I could see that.
Because Strangers in Paradise primarily was just a story of Francine and Kachu, but then it turned out that Kachu had a lot more going on than initially met the eye, and you know
Uh-huh.
sometimes there were hints of it, and sometimes you'd find out a lot of it. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's the best connection. I like the color. I like the different characters.
I like the color a lot.
In
Definitely.
Yeah, in the Love and Rockets book club this week, we were talking about how Jaime manages to maintain the the body type of each of his characters and have such a wide range of different body types that he uses between characters.
Yeah.
Some artists, like, all of their characters have the same bodies, and or they have trouble maintaining different positions and still having it clear what body it is, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And the Love and Rockets we read this week was a lot of wrestling, and therefore we really noticed that no, he's really maintaining the shapes of the bodies, etc. And I think that's another real strength of this book is you've got a lot of different body types.
Yeah. Yep.
Most of them the model influencer type, but also a couple more normal ones. And they really managed to maintain consistency across the books, across the panels.
Oh, I agree. Yeah,
Good
100%.
acting, good
Yeah.
pacing.
Yeah. How do you think
You
this
know,
compares to
um,
Brian Lee O'Malley's other works? Like,
I
uh,
think I honestly like it better than Scott Pilgrim.
okay.
I think Seconds might still be my favorite of
I
his.
like Seconds a lot.
And what was his first book? I always forget the name of it, but I liked it a lot. No, he's only a year older than me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 1979.
Well, anyway, Snotgirl is amazing. You just got to get out and read it. Um, Lottie,
Lost at Sea
Lost at
is the
Sea.
one that I was trying to think of.
Yep.
Lost at Sea, I also enjoyed quite a bit. I love Scott Pilgrim, but I feel like in a lot of ways it holds up the least
Oh, yeah. It's pretty dated.
of
It's pretty
of
dated.
his works.
Yeah.
Well, and just once you've read it, it just doesn't. I don't feel like I'm getting as much out of it on
A reread.
further reads.
Yeah.
Whereas the other ones, I enjoy the rereads.
Right.
So, yeah. I mean, that's just me. That's just me.
Yeah. No,
There are a lot of things I like about Scott Pilgrim too. So, I mean, it's not
but I agree with you. Seconds
not a
is
automatic.
Seconds is definitely awesome.
Yeah. So
cool. Well, I wish I had
alrighty.
more to offer, but I'm fading. I am not feeling well.
You're fading, so we should probably jump into our books that we hope will be spectacular.
Yeah, Tad, what do you got?
I'll start out with the one I know is spectacular because it was one of the early Kindle original or Comixology originals.
Yeah.
And even won awards a few years ago for Best Digital Comics. Marley's Ghost, based on A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. Harvey Kurtzman, Gideon Kenzel, Josh O'Neill, and Shannon Wheeler from Ablaze. If you, like me, love A Christmas Carol, this is a fantastic addition to the many adaptations in many forms that it's had. If you don't already love A Christmas Carol, it's just a fantastic comic. Harvey Kurtzman was a genius, and he did like the layouts and the concept and whatnot years ago, and just never got to finish it. And Gideon Kendall, Josh O'Neill, and Shannon Wheeler took over years later.
Right.
Just amazing. I'll also point out that this is the month that the week that the One Hand and the Six Fingers collection comes out. So anybody who skipped that in single issue, here's your chance. But what I'm looking forward to most this week is the return of Elsa Chartier with James Tynion IV on The City Beneath Her Feet, #1 from Distillery. FML #2 from Kelly Sue DeConnick and David Lopez at Dark Horse. And then Distillery has an anthology comic of Christmas tales from a all-star cast of various Distillery and other creators called Through the Boughs that I am very much looking forward to.
Awesome.
How about you, Tyler?
I am really looking forward to Minor Arcana #4. Jeff Lemire's,
Absolutely.
Jeff Lemire's long ongoing series. And then Batman Dark Patterns from Dan Waters and Hayden Sherman looks amazing. And then Doll Parts, A Lovesick Tale #1 from Luana Vecchio from Image.
Awesome. Image, yeah. And I am hoping that Tyler gets better enough that he manages to read 3 comic books this week.
At least.
So that we have our 3 amazing books next week the way we're supposed to, because you know how much it messes with my head when we don't work in 3s.
I apologize. It's
okay.
Let me, you know what? I'll put in one that I was gonna read. I haven't bought yet.
No, I like it better as Tyler's a bum and only read 2 comics this week.
That'll be fun.
But you can say what your third read would be.
Sure.
What would your third read be? No, I'm asking now. What would your third read be? When you can get comics, what's the first book you're going to read?
I got to get my phone out. I got to check. I don't know off the top of my head.
Gotcha. Don't know off the top of your head.
No.
Cruel Universe #5?
Yeah, probably.
No.
No.
Absolute Superman #2?
Hold on.
Oddly Pedestrian Life of Christopher Chaos #14?
Oh, that's a good one.
It's way wordier than it should be.
That is a good one. That one might be it.
Yeah, but issues 13 and 14 have been way wordier than they should be.
I agree. Yeah, Christopher Chaos is kind of running its course for me. I'm still reading.
I think it could come back. It's got interesting stuff going on, but like they've been doing more telling than showing in the last couple of issues.
Yeah,
and they need to get their balance back.
Yeah, I agree. All right, guys. I apologize for my voice and for not feeling well. And yeah,
you don't have to apologize for not feeling well. And your voice is your voice. Whatever.
Whatever. All right. So, guys, we appreciate you listening, and we'll catch you after the next page. Later.
Hey, guys, this is Tyler from 22 Panels. I'm here to tell you all about our Patreon. If you enjoy this show, please consider donating to our Patreon to keep this show going. We have many different tiers, all different levels to help you decide what's right for you. Okay, so get on out there to patreon.com/22panelspodcast.